Good morning, and thanks so much for tuning into the Trade Setup. I'm Niraj Shah. It's Monday morning. It's a busy week in terms of numbers, starting from the US markets results that happened on Friday to our markets, which have a very busy week, starting today with HDFC Bank. First, the global news flow, though, and oil is clearly the biggest news flow. The prices jumped 6% in over the weekend or in Friday's session amidst the geopolitical tensions, posting the best day since April. Yes, this early morning there might have been a bit of a cool off from there, but oil is certainly on the boil. US warned Iran in back channel talks on involvement in the war, as per Sullivan. This is, as per Sullivan, happened over the last few days of conversations between the US and the West at large and Iran. Asian markets have opened weaker as investors look aside of geopolitical tensions to the Chinese data as well as the Japan inflation data, if that is indeed something that is really important currently. And India and Sri Lanka are working to link UPI with Lanka Pay, the soft power that India will have, hopefully, uh, and a relationship that India will have more than power with other countries. So this is something that is important. But from a markets perspective, the US markets corrected. The US markets came off, at least the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 came off 0.5% for the S&P 500 as well. And the Dow was flattish, 0.12% for the Dow, 33670. But the key is the yields which had come off in the session over the in Friday's session have gone back to 4.66. The VIX steady at 19.5. The dollar index, in fact, has moved back from 105 to 106 odd. So keep that in mind as well. The GIFT Nifty indicates maybe a marginal positive, but I'm not inclined to believe that too much. Let's wait and watch how it shapes up. Oil prices as well as choppy global markets are a double whammy, which make me believe that markets are likely to sulk today. IT and PSU banks looked weak in Friday's session, may struggle yet again as per chartists. But the two pockets that you need to watch out for, one is CNX real estate, which is outperforming and may continue with the festive season sales. Remember, the Shraddh period has ended, Navratras have started yesterday, and with the festive season in in play, you might actually see real estate sales looking okay. Over the course of the next few days, I'll be talking to real estate developers and trying and understanding local developers to try and understand what is the kind of demand that we're seeing with regards to Navratras and the bookings thereof. The other pocket to watch out for is capital marketplace. And all of these are showing some very strong performances and commentary as well as charts. So I was looking at the weekend wrap by this gentleman called Tariq Hussain, and the charts of some of the asset management companies are looking very solid. Uh, People that I spoke to in the markets told me that the angel broking con call was very strong. And I have a note from Motilal Oswal a bit later on, which I'll bring. But so capital market plays are looking very, very strong. And that's a pocket to watch out for. Frankly, with SIPs at 16,000 crores of the last month, right? It just shows the kind of money that is coming in into the equity markets, at least at the very least. And that alone should make you believe that the capital market plays are probably well positioned. The pocket to keep a bit wary of is the kind of corrective move that have happened in the railway stocks. So look at RVNL, look at IRFC, look at Jupiter Wagons, and the 52-week highs for some of these stocks, 199 rupees for RVNL, the current market price 168. IRFC 52-week high 92.94, current price 76. Jupiter Wagons 52-week high 412 rupees, current price 312 rupees. You might have logged in into the right pocket, but maybe at the wrong time. And this is what you need to be careful of. When stocks have moved up quite a bit, shave off some of the gains, at least if you're not completely sure of the fundamentals, and trading because the space is in momentum or is because somebody's told you so. So please be mindful of that. It's a big day for earnings or big week for earnings, but today is a big day because of one stock, HDFC Bank, that 12-13% of the weightage of the index that comes out with numbers. But a number of other important names, CEAT, entire companies are expected to show strong showing. So watch out for CEAT, watch out for Cyient, DLM. Yes, the Israel war impacts it. Otherwise, Cyient has done reasonably well. Federal Bank is expected to come out with good numbers. Watch out for that. Geo Financial and murmurs of some announcements along with the results, as well as Yatra Online. So a number of important numbers. Now, very quickly, the stocks to watch out for. Firstly, the Adani Group stocks, and I'll first give you the names and then the disclaimer. So, Adani Enterprises, the Office of Hyderabad's Regional Director initiates investigation into accounts of MIAL, which is Mumbai Airport and Navi Mumbai Airport. But the clarification that the companies provided is that the documents sought pertain to 2017-18 to 21-22, which is before the airports were acquired by the company in FY22. So this is related to accounts before Adani Enterprises bought into these airports. So be mindful of that. But therefore, that brings the Adani Enterprises stock in focus. Adani Ports, the company said yesterday that the Vizhinjam port will emerge as the largest private port in Kerala. Separately, they made an announcement that they'll pump in some 20,000 crores to expand ports capacity. And Adani Green in an exchange filing has said that the second quarter hybrid energy sales jumped sixfold. And that's quite a telling statistic. So the Adani Group stocks are in focus today. Standard disclaimer, the Adani Group owns 49% stake in Quintillion Business Media, in the process of acquiring the balance 51% stake in Quintillion Business Media, and QBML owns PQ Prime, which is the platform on which you're watching this broadcast. So watch out for the Adani Group stocks. Watch out for Delta Corp. It has said that the unit gets a notice to pay 6,380 crores of GST shortfall. This bogey doesn't leave Delta Corp alone. I would reckon that the stock may have a bit of a problem in the session today. So do watch out for Delta Corp. Do watch out for Tata Motors. It's going to sell 9.9% stake in Tata Technologies for 1,610 crores. TPG Rise Climate SF, which is the climate-focused PE fund, has agreed to buy that 9% stake out of that. Remaining is by Ratan Tata's company. And the company is, Tata Motors has said that transaction furthers Tata Motors' deleveraging agenda. Keep in mind the stock was active in Friday's session already. So I don't know how much more upside, but could see some upside today. Laurus Labs, associate company of Laurus Labs, which is ImmunoAct, has received the marketing authorization approval for India's first CAR T cell therapy for cancer treatment. Approval is from the Central Drug Standard Control Organization. So Laurus doesn't have majority stake, but I think from what I read from a number of people who posted this news to me as well separately, Laurus apparently owns about 33% stake. So may well be active in the session today. I think the material gains are still some time away, but you might still see Laurus being active today. So if it is active, you should know why. And this is the news. Some numbers that came out and some brokerage notes which kind of clarify about those numbers. So HDFC Life, CLSA's note. CLSA has raised the target price to 725, upgraded the stock to outperform. They say flat VNB margin driven by higher sales of lower margin products, but the APE growth of 9% was driven by strong growth in the protection and the ULIP business. The share of non-par savings normalized to 28% versus 37%, and they maintained the APE growth expectations of 6% and 14% in FY24-25 and flat margins for FY24, but because of a rollover to further periods, they've raised the target price to 725. Watch out for this. Watch out for Avenue Supermarts. The revenue per square feet improved 6% during Q2, indicating higher contribution from larger stores. But the consolidated EBITDA margin for the quarter contracted. Net income missed estimates. Maybe, just maybe, Avenue Supermarts has a slightly dull day. There's a small stock called Som Distilleries, which came out with some very good numbers. Maybe the stock reacts, so do watch out for this one as well. Don't quite know about this too well. They've missed some statements that the company had made in the past in terms of guidance and growth. So be mindful of Som, but a stock that is apparently done well. So keep these numbers in mind. I was talking about Angel One. Look at the Motilal Oswal note on Angel One. They've reiterated a buy with a target price which is higher, revised higher to 2550. They say it's the perfect play on financialization of savings and digitization. It demonstrated a strong operating performance in the second quarter. They have raised their FY24 and 25 earnings estimates by 9% and 8% to factor in higher NII. They believe the growth in MTF book, lower than expected OPEX, and better than expected F&O orders will help growth. So watch out for Angel One. That's to be kept in mind as well. And a Bloomberg story says that an average weighted gauge of 28 stocks linked to the ongoing Cricket World Cup has gained about 5% this month, while the benchmark Nifty has risen about 0.6%. So watch out the cricket-related stocks, QSRs, flight stocks, hotel stocks, all of these seem to be doing well. And with India advancing convincingly in the World Cup thus far, never know, this might actually do better as well. Remember, it's the season for auspicious things. Navratras have begun, and therefore you largely watch out for good things. But from a market's perspective, I think it is prudent to be a bit cautious and a bit of a risk-off mode, considering the fact that the world is kind of undergoing a geopolitical crisis, if you will. So that's to be kept in mind. Oil is on the boil. That should also have an impact on Indian market sentiment. So keep all of these factors in mind. But specific pockets could do well. It's a big day. It's an important day for results. It's an important day for conversations on BQ Prime as well. Talking Point has um, Kenneth Andrade. People love listening to him. I love talking to him. Do tune in to get his views at 10 a.m. today. So watch out for Kenneth Andrade today, and watch out for a clutch of other market conversations. Some group of companies, JK Arora, strong results. So stock in focus today at 11 a.m. conversation with him. Ask PQ with Pankaj Pandey and Rajesh Palbia. You might want to tune in to get all your stock queries answered with my colleagues Alex and Smriti. And of course, the derivative show will happen, as well as some earnings conversation through this week. So do try and tune in for all of those. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Trade Setup.